Hi, I'm Francis Borges, consulting partner with Era Group. I'm proud to be a founding member of AVCCI, America's virtual chamber of commerce and industry. And I'm honored to serve as co-chair of the Manufacturing and Healthcare Committee. With 25 years of finance transformation and business consulting experience, working with Fortune 100 and 500 companies across manufacturing, healthcare, financial services, and other industries, I've had the privilege of driving hundreds of millions of dollars in annual savings in some of the world's largest organizations. But now I've deliberately pivoted to bring that same caliber of expertise to where I believe it's needed most, the mid market. With Era Group, I partner with founders, CEOs, and CFOs of mid sized businesses that face what most are dealing with right now: margin pressure, rising costs, supply chain disruptions, and an increasingly competitive landscape. We help them find hidden EBITDA in their overheads and vendor spend, unlocking savings that go straight to the bottom line to fund growth, improve cash flow, boost valuation, and protect the margins that keep them competitive. Well, the top three things that clients love most about us: we bring that deep category expertise and the resources that the mid market simply doesn't have access to. We do the heavy lifting, working as a seamless extension of their team to secure real savings. And we do all of this completely risk free. No upfront budget. We are rewarded only when we put money back in your pocket. Playing back to AVCCI, it's a powerful virtual community where business leaders can connect, collaborate, and grow their businesses together. Well, we are just getting started, and that's exactly why you want to be here right now. Come join us, be part of our great journey. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kristen Panella of Two Safe Consulting. I'm a founding member of AVCCI, and I chair the Workplace Health, Safety, and Risk Committee, where we're looking to do presentations on education and provide tools that will help you have a safe environment within your workplace. At Two Safe Consulting, safety is more than compliance. It's about protecting people, supporting operations, and building a culture that actually works in the real world. I founded TwoSafe with one goal in mind: to provide companies with practical, high-level environmental health and safety support that makes a real impact. We work across many industries, including manufacturing, utilities, aerospace, construction, energy, pharmaceuticals, from OSHA compliance to hazardous waste manifests to safety training, audits, investigations, full EH&S program management. Our team becomes an extension of your operation. What makes us different is that we don't just hand over a binder and walk away. We stay involved, solve problems, train your people, and help create long-term results. Whether your company needs a complete safety program or support on a single project, TwoSafe is ready to help wherever the work takes us. Let's build something safer together. Thank you. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Hello, I'm talking to you as a founding member of America's Virtual Chamber for Commerce and Industry. We are proud to be a founding member of this movement and we're inviting you all to join in. Let me introduce myself. My name is Marcylle Combs. I'm the co-founder and co-CEO of Digitopia, a global scale-up working on digital and AI transformation, reinventing consulting. We are helping organizations ranging from Unilever to Microsoft, from Intel to many other organizations in various industries, in various geographies. We are assessing their maturity, we're road mapping their digital and AI transformations, and we are helping them with all kinds of questions around AI implementation. As you know, AI is the most important and most influential technology of our days. This change is unprecedented. Every industry, every business is affected and must harness the opportunities AI is bringing. So, for any questions around AI and the transformation within your organizations, we are the right partner to talk to. We helped hundreds of customers around the world, and we're happy to helping you as well. Looking forward. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the American Business Podcast. I'm Kevin Devecioglu, your host. I'm welcoming you episode 181. We are in Season 6 in the American Business Podcast, the voice of American business. Today's number, 3.8%. Consumer prices rose 3.8% in April from a year earlier. Quote of the day, as you know, we have a great partnership with missionstatements.com, and here is the quote of the day. One sign that determination matters more than talent. There are lots of talented people who never achieve anything, but not that many determined people who don't. Okay, well, we have a special guest in the American Business Podcast. I'm going to invite our guest to our virtual stage and we'll get the conversation started. Hello, Marcylle. Welcome to the American Business Podcast.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be here.
Thank you very much. I'm also honored to have you in the American Business Podcast. It is such a privilege. I've been waiting for this conversation, and thank you so much. How are you? How is your week going so far?
My day is wonderful. It's a beautiful day in Texas today with the sun shining. You can't beat that. And about 75 degrees.
That is beautiful. Texas is one of my favorite states in the country. And well, the good thing is I'm based in New York, but the weather is also good today in New York. So that's good news. Before the rain starts tomorrow, we're going to enjoy it today in New York area.
Yes, for sure.
Well, we have a lot to discuss today, and we love to learn from you. You have years of experience in business. As a start, would you please introduce yourself and your organization to our listeners and to our viewers?
Well, I'm Marcylle Combs, and I have the Marcylle Combs Company. I also have a healthcare consulting company called Mac Legacy that works primarily in the home health and hospice space. I've been doing business for over 30 years, and I've owned and operated, I think it's about 12 different businesses, the largest of which I sold about 8 years ago and didn't have enough sense to retire. So therefore, I started a couple more. The Marcylle Combs Company is where I speak and talk about leadership and try to help entrepreneurs. And of course, the healthcare consulting is where real people pay real money for my expertise and some much more talented people than me that works as consultants.
Well, I know that you're also a published author. Would you like to tell us about your book?
I'm so glad you brought that up. I happen to have a copyright here called
Great.
Never Hire Your Friends, which basically means always hire your friends. I, of course, worked in a service organization. So, and I believe even if you aren't working in a service organization, that your relationship with the people at work will help your productivity, will help your bottom line, will help your business grow and everything you can do. And I set forth those principles in the book and have tried to share those with others. I'm busy trying to speak and develop that. And truly, spending the last third of my life trying to give back to the community and also have a great time and earn a living while I'm doing it.
Well, we love business books in the American Business Podcast. It's a great source for learning, educating, and continuous improvement. And I'm glad you talk about your book today. And for our audience, where can they get your book? Is it Amazon or any other venue?
They can get it on Amazon. Very easy. Just, search it up. Never Hire Your Friends, Marcylle Combs. Or you can get it through my website, marcyllecombs.com. I'm sure you'll put how to spell my name. It's on the screen and in your show notes. If you can spell my name, you can get to my website. If you can't, much like maybe Kevin, your last name, that's a challenge.
Yes. This is good. Well, I'm really curious about your career journey. How did you get started? How your career journey has unfolded over the years?
Do you know there's a book called The Accidental Entrepreneur, I believe. It's an older book. I think that I didn't end up where I thought I would end up. I'm a nurse by background. I have my master's in business, but I didn't do that till much later. I went to work for a little home care company and fell in love. And I can say to you that I didn't plan on that, but the owner was going to sell his business, and I talked him in to selling it to me. And not only doing that, he backed my loan at the bank. Now, I know some of you might not have my same charms or my same craziness. I didn't really have any money, and I didn't do all the things that I would probably tell you now to do if you were going to start a business. But I loved the work, and I had grown it for a few years with him. And then I proceeded to do that. I did it for a couple years and sold it to a large hospital chain, then managed to figure out myself. I bought the book, Business for Dummies. I love the dummy books. They're very elemental. If you want to start anything, I would say go to the bookshelf, but really and truly, I do iBooks or Audible or that. So don't let me fool you. I haven't been in a bookstore before, in a long time, but I love the way they smell. There you go. But then I managed that business for another 10 years through a company and decided to go back out on my own. So I went back into the home care and hospice business, grew that. It is a service organization, grew that to about 70 million and sold that 8 years ago. And then again, started back into the consulting company and to the Marcylle Combs company. I have a real estate company, but I would by far say I'm not the expert someone wants to listen to on real estate. However, I know a lot of people who are. So therefore, I know how to ask people questions. But that, I would say I'm in the people business, and I've had a lot of people. There's an adage to say, always hire people smarter than you, and you'll go far. And so I was able to hire a lot of people who were smarter than me and helped me along this journey, and have had the fortunate ability to get to know a lot of people who have also helped me along the way.
Well, you're a serial entrepreneur and you have decades of experience. What is the secret of your success?
Do you know, I think the secret of my success, if there is one is I'm very determined. You gave that quote as you began your session today. And I would say there's probably a lot of people smarter than me. I didn't, when you go to nursing school, you don't learn how to read a profit and loss statement. I learned that through accountants. I think my ability to read books, to ask questions, to not give up. Most people give up. And I tried to listen, but somehow, sometimes I look for that girl who thought she was invincible and could never fail and could do anything, and I can't always find her anymore. But when you start with no money, which I'm not a Trump, and I didn't start with money, and you'll risk almost anything because you really have nothing to lose. I mean, sure, I said you can go bankrupt on $1 or you can go bankrupt on $1 million. And I've had the experience of feeling the edge of that cliff on both sides of that coin. So I think it's determination. I think it's learning. We had a conversation, and I believe there's not enough books, not enough information that you can consume in your lifetime to really do everything you need to do. And I love a new project. I love a new project, and I love the exciting part.
I love the energy. That's great. Well, can you tell us about the state of your industry in general? Maybe healthcare industry or other industries you like to talk about, because you are involved in different industries and you have experience in different ones.
Right. I think we have, ending in 2030, we've had baby boomers, 10,000 a day, turning 65. So the need for healthcare is huge. The problem is, in 1965, when Medicare came into being, which was I was, for all practical purposes, a government contractor. I hate to say those words. We didn't have any $1 million toilets, but you build and collected the federal government. The struggles we have now are budget, because in 1965 there were about 4 working people for every retired person. Now that number, and by 2030, is going to be about 1.8. So you can see the crisis with dollars. Now the baby boomers still have the bulk of the wealth in the country, so there's a huge need for private services. There's a huge opportunity for anything AI or robotics to care for them. They're working on it. Elon Musk said in 5 years we'd all have at least 3 robots in our home. I mean, that's what I want for my caretaker someday, is a robot
Yes.
that my children don't program. I want to tell it what to do and not have them tell it what to do. I don't know if we're certainly not there, with robots. They've experimented
you're
with.
right.
My neighbor has a lawnmower that has, it works 24 hours a day. I see it with its little light mowing the yard.
Yes.
But that's different than taking care of a human. So one problem we have is reimbursement and money. The other problem we have is just having enough people to be able to take care of those people that are elderly, and boomers are living longer. So our average age in 65, the average age of death was about 70. Now it's about 78 to 80. So, they're living longer with more chronic illnesses. We need more care. If you're a business person, it's a huge opportunity. But it's also, if you're trying to get government reimbursement, we have a crisis with what the cuts have been, and those have been huge for healthcare in general. And I could talk way too long and bore the audience to death on this.
These are great insights. Nothing to be bored about. I love it. This is great.
Opportunity and challenge. That's what it is. If you've got a great idea, to be able to do that, then you've got a great opportunity because the U.S., like every other country in the world, is getting older, and some countries the crisis is worse than others, and in some areas, I think they're right now in most big growing, booming areas, let's say Texas, you have a lot of elderly, but you also have a lot of people coming in and a lot of industries. So we've got only 13%, but in places like rural Eastern Coast areas, you get 2030, you've got 20 to 25%, people elderly, we're the people to take care of them. I mean, it is, I don't have the answer, but I see the problem.
Yes, yes. And just to your point, when there is a problem, it's an opportunity to address it, to solve
Right.
it
Exactly.
from business point of view. One can come up with solution, then there you go. That's a business
Right.
opportunity.
Exactly.
So that's a great point. I'm glad you mentioned that. Well, let's talk about something that you really have the expertise, and I know you love to talk about it. So let's talk about leadership a little bit. How would you define leadership, and what are the great leadership qualities a good leader must have?
Hi, I'm Anthony Buonaspina, CEO and founder of LI Tech Advisors. We're located in Babylon Village, Long Island, and we've been in business for over 35 years. We're an MSP specializing in AI automation and business intelligence, and we're very excited to be leading the Long Island chapter and as a founding member of America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry, that's AVCCI. We're very happy to be a member here, and also we're looking forward to doing a lot of great things with this organization. Thank you.
A good leader must have.
I summarize this in my book, but I really think it comes down to how do we honor each other? How do we speak in a manner in which you want to be spoken to? Are you honest? I mean, we all, and I would say I'm a tough competitor. If you want to compete with me, I'm going to go to the mat, but I'm going to be honest in that. And I'm going to surround myself with people who will remind me to be honest sometimes. And I think the third quality is humility. I am a strong person, and I'm not a real tall person. If you saw me in real life, I didn't get the height in my family, but I am a real strong person. But I don't need to tell you that every day. You ask me, I've had a degree of success in my life. Specifically with small to medium-sized businesses, but I don't need to tell you that every moment. I need to be able for you to see that through me without me telling you. So if I was going to say what are the three most important things, I would say that it comes down to that: honor, humility, honesty. If you get those three things right, then a lot of things are going to go right in your life.
Role models. Have you had any role models, any mentors who help you shape your career journey over the years?
Oh, so many. The very first little West Texas boy, I give him all the praise for teaching me business, good or bad. He would say, Marcylle, the most important thing is to bill and collect. Bill and collect. He taught me the basics of you've got to get up every day and you got to think of a new idea. And if something's not working, you got to know when to fold them and when to hold them. If you remember that old country song, probably not. But you've got to do that every day. And how do you grow? Where's the reimbursement, and how do you grow? From a leadership perspective, John Maxwell, who is a leadership expert, he wrote the foreword in my book. A good friend of mine. Just all the principles of how you make yourself a success, even to, I think it's not his latest book, but he has a book called How to Fail Forward. How do you take your failures and look at what they are and say, what could I have done differently? What can I do better? What can I move forward on those? Sometimes we learn more things from failures. I have lots of individual mentors that have meant the world to me. Justin, as I said, sometimes you need, or always you need around you people who are more conservative than you from an honesty perspective, people who know the IRS rules. I was told by my original business mentor, never do your own taxes. Always have someone else do your taxes. And I said, because who's going to sit in the audit and defend your taxes? Death and taxes, the two things we don't get out of in life.
Yes, forever.
And I don't like to pay taxes. Hence, I live in Texas, and not New York. And I love New York. But I want to pay taxes down here. But I got to have someone. I don't want to go to jail. So how do I do that? Those are just a few right off the top of my head.
Yes, absolutely. And well, we actually have a segment in the American Business Podcast. It's called International Leadership Podcast and ILP, and that's a segment in our podcast. And I work with Joe Beauchamp. He's also a leadership guru, and he also talks about Maxwell's principles in terms of leadership, influence, priorities, character, problem solving, serving people. So we love talking about leadership in the American Business Podcast. Hence, International Leadership Podcast is with us together. We actually put the word out, and we talk about making difference with leadership. These are important concepts as business professionals that we need to remember and practice.
Well, Kevin, you said I could ask you a question, and so here's my question for you.
You want to go now? Okay, sounds good.
You gave me permission early on.
Sounds like you're ready, so I'll just take the question. Why not?
So, what do you think that the biggest problem that any business has to solve?
Well, nowadays I will say adaptation to AI. That is the biggest problem nowadays, biggest challenge nowadays, and at the same time, that is the biggest opportunity for businesses.
Right.
It is because now this technology, AI, is accessible, affordable, practical for small and mid-sized businesses in the US. And when we look at the US overall, most of the businesses are small and mid-sized businesses. There are about 30 million businesses overall, and most of them are small and mid-sized businesses, and they are the backbone of US economy.
Right.
So in the past, it was very difficult to have the access to the technology. It was only available to Fortune 500 companies. You had to be a bank or one of those large organizations to be able to access the large, important technologies to make a difference, to make strategic difference in the marketplace. Now with the AI, it's available, it's affordable. It's just a matter of adaptability. And they need to find a way to utilize it to be competitive, to be more cost efficient in their business. So I will say that's the biggest challenge and biggest opportunity at the same. It's just like SWOT analysis, right? So when we make those analysis, you may have the opportunity and challenge, and could be the same thing. So and same thing with the, you can have a strength and weakness at the same time. Depends on how you utilize it and position it. Right. So I will say AI, yes. And that's a fascinating conversation. I mean, I can talk about this for hours. It's because depends on how you look at it. And in coming years, it's can also make a lot of difference in the market. That's how it looks like it.
Very good.
Okay, now I'm gonna get back to my question pool, and let's continue and because I love this conversation, and you have a lot of experience and insights, and I love our listeners and viewers to benefit from this conversation. Well, let's talk about key career lesson. If there is one key career lesson that you learned the hard way, what would it be that you can share with us? I know there are many, but I'd like you to pick one if possible, or two.
The key career lesson. I think it's probably when to throw in the towel. When do you need to cut your losses and move forward? I think that the lesson, whether it's cutting a department or cutting an employee or cutting a business line, I think I don't know if I've really learned that lesson of really knowing how, but I know especially for an entrepreneur, to be an entrepreneur, you really have to believe in miracles, if you will, a strategic, thought out miracle. Sometimes not as much thinking out. and and you have to know when enough is enough and you have to stop doing that. I think that is of all the things. I think the other thing is don't outgrow your cash flow. You can have a great business and you can expand like crazy, but if and I think I probably have learned that lesson. You can't grow faster than you can supporting that with cash. Um, so I think that's a really important. I see a lot of small businesses, entrepreneurs, the millennial generation, just a great group of entrepreneurs. But they were great. They've been great at starting, great at growing, but the cash flow on the other side of that, lots and lots and lots of those fail. Now that may not just be to their generation, but I've seen a lot of it as I've sat in rooms with those people.
We have a little tradition in the American business podcast. I have a question for you coming from our previous guest. I'll ask the question. And after that, I'll ask you to leave me a question for me to ask to our coming guests in episode 182. So the question from our previous guest is, what is the biggest challenge your company is facing nowadays, and how are you planning to address it?
I'll put it in my own terms, and I would say this from the consulting. I'll give you two answers really quick. From the consulting company, you're only as good as the next job. And so one of the things that we've been working on is how do we, in my terms, recurring revenue. How do you get that revenue that comes in every month, no matter what? And how do you attract customers and businesses to that? I can get the jobs, but it's such a big, in a consulting company, just a big ebb and flow of how that goes. From the speaking, it's a whole new world for me. And so I'm trying to figure out, as I said, I'm a pretty humble person. And so how do I self-promote enough to get people to use me as their keynote speaker? How do I actually say the dollar that I would like to get to speak for that company and not think, oh my gosh, am I worth that much? So those are my two biggest challenges today.
Okay, well, what is your question for the next guest? We'll ask in the episode 182.
Okay, in 182, what I would say is in a world of technology and remote touch, how do you get the human touch? How do we not lose in a world of AI? How do we keep our humanness and our intelligence, the thing that sparks our own ingenuity? How do we prevent from just being dumbed out of the world due to the super intelligent AI that's coming?
That's a great question. And I'll make sure to ask. And please make sure to watch the next episode. So I'll send you the link as well.
I will.
Okay, well, in addition to seasoned professionals, we also have a lot of viewers, listeners, and viewers, the next generation who are entering to the job market. And the job market is also changing with the impact of AI and other changes. What is your career advice for the next generation professionals?
Well, I would say one is most of the people that I know 30 years later are not doing what they set out to do in college. Their
Okay.
degree is probably in something different than
Mhm.
what they planned on. I would say don't pick, I mean, if you plan to work, be cautious to pick a philosophy degree because what are you going to do with that? But I would say look at don't worry so much. You're partially the reason you're in college or you're in some kind of training is to learn how to learn or learn how to do a trade. I wouldn't pick, I would look at the AI situation and I wouldn't pick probably the degrees that are financial analysis, accounting. I hate to say this to my accounting friends, the degrees, because I think those are going to be less and less because I think AI already, as you probably know, are taking on a lot of those things. But and I would tell them learn every daggum thing they can about AI, experiment it with it, try it, become an expert because you're going to be on, shoulder to shoulder with the people next to you as you move forward. And that's the advice I give to everyone. You want a job and you want to make sure you keep a job, you learn everything about this new technology, you experiment in every way you can. I don't know if that answered your question.
Yes, that's really insightful. That's really insightful, and I'm glad our listeners and viewers they've had a chance to listen to you and learn from you today and from your insights. Well, for those who like to continue this conversation with you, who like to learn about your book, your speaking engagements, and your business, what is the best way that they can get in touch with you and learn about your
The best way
businesses?
the best way to do that is through my website at marcyllecombs.com. It's my first last name, no space.com. And it'll take you to the website, and that website will get you contact information, what to buy, where to find me to speak, get to my assistants who I'm not in charge of my own schedule. They try to keep me out of that. But it can connect you in any way. That's the easiest way.
Marcylle, thank you so much for being with us in your busy schedule, and thank you so much for sharing your professional insights and professional wisdom with us in the American Business Podcast.
Okay. And Kevin, thank you so much. And thank you for what you're doing for the business community.
Of course, it's my pleasure, and thank you for your support.
Okay.
And to our audience, to our listeners, and to our viewers, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I liked it very much. As I always say, in each the American Business Podcast episode, you learn something new. That is our goal. And our guests, they share their professional insights, professional wisdom with us, and we learn from them. That is our goal, and that's an educational podcast that we have been bringing you. What do you think? What is your take about AI? Please share your thoughts in the comment box, in the chat box. We love to hear from you. We love to also learn from you. Please join the conversation. Please subscribe, like, and share it, and support the American Business Podcast. We'll be right back after a short break. Thank you very much. Would you like to listen to music during your work time? We are here to help. We created ABP Office Music Pod, powered by the American Business Podcast. ABP Office Music Pod is for you, the working professional. You can enjoy jazz, lo-fi, smooth jazz, classic music, and more during your work time. We keep the music positive and energetic. You can go to the YouTube channel of the American Business Podcast, or you can scan this QR code and start listening right away. There is more coming in the American Business Podcast, and this is one of them. Enjoy ABP Office Music Pod during your work time, and thank you very much for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Anywhere Apps by Kirk Consulting, now Cherry Baker. It is time to digitize and automate your business processes. Anywhere Apps designed for small and mid-sized companies as well as enterprise-level companies to help you digitize and automate your business processes. Today, I like to talk about one of the Anywhere apps that's very popular in the US. It is called Nonprofit Management Anywhere. If you are a nonprofit and you like to manage your donations, volunteers, fundraising events, your grants, and other documents for compliance and operational purposes, consider Nonprofit Management Anywhere. It is a completely cloud service. You can start using it today with no need for local installation on your server or on your local laptop and computers. It is user-friendly and it's easy to deploy, and you can start using it today. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code and you can learn more about Anywhere apps, including Nonprofit Management Anywhere. Well, there is more. If you'd like to talk to me directly about Anywhere apps, you can just send me an email directly, kevin@kerconsulting.com. Anywhere apps are modern, they are easy to use, they are affordable, practical, and more importantly, that's designed for you to help you digitize and automate your business processes. Scan the QR code or just send me a direct email, kevin@kerconsulting.com. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Reddit. Do you know the biggest challenge nowadays for American small businesses? That is visibility. That's why we partner with Reddit for Business. There are more than 440 million visitors weekly on Reddit. Furthermore, Reddit is reliable and millions of users are going to Reddit to get the real feedback from real people. It is the number one source for real reviews on products, services, and brands. There is a promotion going on that I'd like you to consider and take advantage of. When you spend $500 on Reddit for advertising, you'll get $500 in advertising credit. True story. I am a Reddit user, and anytime I like to have feedback or review for a product or service, I go to Reddit and I talk to Reddit communities. I get the real feedback and real review from real people and real communities. Scan this QR code and sign up for Reddit advertising. Get the visibility for your company, for your products and services on Reddit with Reddit advertising. Reach people ready to buy your products and services with Reddit advertising. Scan the QR code and sign up today. Thank you for your support. Would you like to start your business podcast? We are here to help. My name is Kevin Devecioglu. I am the founder and host of the American Business Podcast, the voice of American business. When we started the American Business Podcast on February 28, 2025, we had only one mission in mind: to promote, support, and uplift American businesses, nonprofits, manufacturers, and the American business community. Within our first 6 months, we managed to pass 100,000 YouTube subscribers, and we received YouTube Silver Award. This is an important award. It shows our dedication to American business and to the American Business Podcast viewers, subscribers, and American Business Podcast community. Now you can have your own branded company podcast within the American Business Podcast Network. You can promote your company, your products, your services, and you'll have instant visibility in front of thousands of the American Business Podcast viewers, subscribers, and followers. You can promote your company, your products and services. You can educate and inspire businesses and individuals. More importantly, you can tell your story, your brand story. How did you get started? What makes you different? And how you are helping your customers and communities. As you know, in the American Business Podcast, I've been talking to more than 100 American businesses. Each business has a story that is inspiring and motivational. I know your business also has a great story which is motivational and inspiring. It is time for you to have your business podcast within the American Business Podcast Network. We help you start your business podcast and we help you grow your business. This is a great opportunity for you to be visible in the marketplace in front of thousands of the American Business Podcast viewers and subscribers. And this is a great opportunity for us to fulfill our mission to promote, support, and uplift American businesses. Please send us an email and let's get the conversation started. It is paas@americanpodcast.tv. Business podcasting as a service. Powered by the American Business Podcast, the voice of American business. The American Business Podcast is America's fastest growing educational business podcast network in this age of AI. My name is Kevin Devecioglu. I'm the founder and host of the American Business Podcast, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you, working with you, and help you grow your business with your new business podcast. Thank you very much. Support for the show comes from Yelp. You know, I've been talking to more than 100 business owners in the American Business Podcast. Do you know the biggest problem for small businesses nowadays? It is visibility. That is why you should sign up and list your business on Yelp for Business. I have the QR code on the screen, and when you scan the QR code, the form will show up on your screen and you can sign up on the registration form. It comes with free trial with no obligation. Make it easy for your customers to find you. Do you know there are more than 70 million customers visiting Yelp website looking for services from businesses just like yours, restaurants, home services, professional services, and many other businesses are being searched on Yelp on daily basis. That's a great opportunity. If you list your business on Yelp, you'll be findable, searchable, and you'll be visible. When you are visible, when your customers are able to find you, you're in business. You can get opportunities, you can get leads, you can build a healthy and profitable pipeline. Consider Yelp for Business. Scan the QR code, sign up, and start your free trial. It comes with free trial. Very comfortable, no obligation. List your business and start getting the results and enjoy the benefits of Yelp Business. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Gemini Trust. Gemini makes crypto simple. Find, trade, and buy over 70 different coins, including Bitcoin and Solana, on the best cryptocurrency platform. Gemini Trust. Start trading crypto here. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code and start signing up today. Because they have a great customer service, you can reach out to them and get assistance 24/7. Scan the QR code and start trading crypto on Gemini. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Just Answer. Real help from real experts 24/7. Experts such as lawyers, doctors, veterinarians, computer technicians, home improvement experts, mechanics, personal tax experts, computer technicians, and many other experts are available for you 24/7 on Just Answer. You'll get your answers anytime, during the day, during the night, 24/7, and you'll get your answers from reliable sources. You can scan the QR code on the screen and you can sign up for Just Answer. The answers you need at a price that is right. Scan the QR code and sign up for Just Answer today. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Otter AI. Otter is the AI note taker that builds your knowledge and powers your workflow with transcription, automated summaries, AI chat, and more. Get your AI-powered assistant for meeting notes, tasks, and more. Scan the QR code on the screen and sign up today. Otter AI is the latest note taker that you can utilize, and you can set your meetings, you can take your notes, and you can also set up your follow-up actions automatically with the help of the Otter AI. Scan the QR code and sign up today. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Invicta. Invicta is known for its stylish watches, both for men and women. Invicta is offering unisex watches as well. I have a confession. I am an Invicta fan and I've been using Invicta watches for many years. This one is 57mm Invicta watch, automatic. Because it's black color, it goes well with my business outfit. And because it's automatic, I don't need batteries for my watch. It gets the energy by me just moving the watch from my wrist. So it creates energy and it can go pretty much non-stop. I have the QR code on the screen, and when you scan the QR code, you'll be able to see the Invicta watch collection. And you can pick the one that you like based on the color, style, and technology. Please scan the QR code, start shopping today, and join me using Invicta. I'm sure you'll like it. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you for being with me in the American Business Podcast. If you'd like to be a guest in the American Business Podcast, please send us an email, guestbooking@americanpodcast.tv. If you'd like to sponsor ABP, if you'd like to advertise in our podcast episodes, please send us an email, growyourbusiness@americanpodcast.tv. You can advertise your company, your products, your services, and your brands in the American Business Podcast. Please send us an email, growyourbusiness@americanpodcast.tv. You can also visit our website, americanpodcast.tv, to learn more about the American Business Podcast, as well as our coming streaming schedule. Now you can have your branded company podcast within the American Business Podcast network. We call it Business Podcasting as a Service, PaaS. If you're interested in starting your business podcast in the American Business Podcast network, please send us an email, paas@americanpodcast.tv. As part of our international expansion, we started international podcast editions. When you scan this QR code, it'll take you to our YouTube page. And please go to the podcast section in our YouTube page and you'll see our international podcast editions. They are ABP Espanol, ABP German, ABP French, ABP Hindi, ABP Portuguese, and ABP Turk, that you can listen to American Business Podcast in 6 different foreign languages. Okay, well, we are in the process of increasing our presence in social media. If you're on LinkedIn, please scan this QR code and subscribe, follow us on LinkedIn. If you're on TikTok, please scan this QR code. It'll take you to our TikTok page. Please subscribe. Please follow us. If you are on Instagram, please scan this QR code. It'll take you to our Instagram page, and please subscribe. If you are on Facebook, we'll also appreciate your help and support. Please scan this QR code. It'll take you to our Facebook page, and please follow us. And finally, we are on IMDb, next to other reputable media productions. Please scan this QR code, go to our IMDb page, and please rate us on IMDb. We'll truly appreciate your help and support. I'd like to thank you for your help. Thank you for your support. I'm looking forward to seeing you in coming the American Business Podcast episodes. The American Business Podcast is the voice of American business. The American Business Podcast, America's fastest growing educational business podcast network in this age of AI. Thank you very much for your help and looking forward to seeing you. Thank you.